Okay, everyone, I want to discuss this topic, and it's about citing your images. And it's, I think, one of the hardest things about working with web pages is giving credit where credit due. Why do you want to give credit to somebody? Well, if you had an image that you get royalties on, say it's $5 a pop, and say 10,000 people decide to use your image without giving you money for your royalties, that's $50,000, right? You'd be pretty pissed if someone did that to you. So that's why it's important to give credit where credit is due. Now, what I would suggest that you do, bring up a text editor. And for all your images, websites, whatever that you're using, use it to store your information. I actually have a couple sites here. So this is I'm searched. On this first one. What I did is I searched for books. Okay, and so and what I came up with when I did that search was I came up with a bunch of old images. I selected one, and then I got this information off it. So I have a link to the photo, link to the author, and a link to the license. And I did the same thing here. I wrote out the quote, or the site for the Creative Commons site. I did the same thing. I got the author, image, and the license. The reason you do this is or if you're going to use web pages or whatever, the reason you do this is so when it comes time to cite, it's very easy to do. I'm going to go ahead and copy this off as well, so I have a copy of my websites that I'm using. It's just organization. If you have information where you got the information, when you go to put your citations, it's very, very simple to do. Okay, so with that said, let's go over here and do something that most of you guys probably did. You went out to books and you said, oh, let's look for some image on Google. And you did a search. And guess what I got? A bunch of different books. And a lot of this, I mean, if I don't know this, do I know this is copyright? I don't know. If I click on this, guess what? This is a copyrighted image. So I can't use that. Well, geez, do I want to do that for every single book? I want to click on these and then click on this and see, well, is this copyrighted? Well, instead of doing that, let's do something a lot easier. Let's go into the settings and then go down to advanced search. Now, if we go down to the license, now we can say file free to use or share. I want to go, if I want, that's good, but it doesn't allow you to modify the image. So what I'm going to go further is for free to use or modify. This allows me then to, if I like an image, I can take a piece of it. Okay. Notice here, this one's by Pixabay. Pixabay doesn't require attribution, but these other books, I mean, you start looking down through here, they do require. I mean, you might grab some that are going to require attribution, some that are not. But you kind of see, I cleaned it when I did that little search right there. I narrowed this down. So see, I like this image. I really like it. Well, and it says Old Books is his name. It's by David Flores, and it's on Flickr. So all I have to do is click this visit, and sure enough, there's David Flores, and then I see the attribution, and then I see the rights reserved. So if I click on this, it tells me the Creative Commons license. And so let's look at how I have the site set up. So I'm using the book. This is the search term I use is book. But then I have old books. So that's the name of this. Notice how I did this. So old books. And then I said image by David Flores. So here's David Flores. And then I put / by CC 2.0. Now how I got that is I clicked on the rights. You see that little link down there? And it tells me right here by what Creative Commons license is being used. Okay, and those will vary depending on if you can't modify them, can't attribution. So always click on that link, and then you want to copy that right there. Okay, so with me so far. Now in Weebly, I'm just using Word as a kind of as a alternative Weebly right now. You want it at the bottom of your resource page. This is mine. Okay, this is my resource page. Notice on my resources in my banner, I can read these, and I can definitely see this is my resource page. I have a learner outcome, and then I have information about what's on my page. These are these links. If you click on these will take you to the app. I don't have to add those to my resources down below because these are already linked to the source. And also you can use buttons. Now you'll notice I have a bigger text space here. I actually took this is a button to the left of a Weebly text object, and I just moved this to the left. That's how I got my buttons all the same size. A little trick you can do. Now below, at the very bottom of this, is I have resources. And what I always like doing, and this is whether you Have images need a citation or not? Put this there. Unless otherwise stated, all images contained on this website were created by myself, are Creative Commons that require no attribution, or are public domain. This will tell everybody, hey, these are images. There's nothing copyrighted on here. Okay, they're mine. And then below, you're going to have a section for like images and for websites or whatever you want to use, even movies if you wanted to. So here are a couple different ways. These both are correct ways of citing Creative Commons. I like the first one. It's a little bit more descriptive. It goes by the name of the image, and it tells me the author, and it tells me how this is licensed. So if I click on these, it's going to bring up, first it's going to bring up, in my example, it would bring up the book. Then I have a link to the actual author, and the way I did that is I clicked on his name, and then it brings up David Flores. So it actually gives you a page right here, David Flores. So you want to make sure as you're going through this. So I would make these three things: link to image, link to author, link to license. Do this for every picture you find and use. Just keep like you can put this in Word. It doesn't matter how you do it. Keep this information. It makes citing very simple. So then you have, so I'm looking at link to image. Okay. So here's my old books. I would copy that. That would be my link to the image. Okay. And then I would just paste that into link to image. Then link to author. Okay. Link to author. So David Flores. I'd copy that one. And again, you can click on his name and that will take you to the author page. And then I put that here, link to author. The link to license. Link to license is this right here, some rights reserved. You can also tell by kind of what this is, what's on the image by this little man. This is give attribution. But I click on that, and that's going to take me here. And I want it's Creative Commons. It's attribution 2.0 generic. So I just take that link right there, copy that, and I put it here. Okay, so that's my license. Any image I use, I do the same thing for. So I'm using the search term, and then again, I just write this out. Now this is another one. Now as on Flickr, it's like I wanted to look for kids and computers. So Flickr, it's really simple to do. You go over here, and I'm going to type in kids and computers, and then now I have to go on here to commercial. I'm going to go just say all Creative Commons. That's a good enough one for me. And then I'm going to run this again. So I'm going to search kids computers. Notice, what I'm going for is I want to make sure I get, I'm only using Creative Commons ones. Okay, all Creative Commons. So I'm going to go kids computers. Try it again without a backslash in there. Okay, there we go. So now I can select any image down here. I can use it wherever I want to do. Say I like that one. Or I like that one. I can come down until I find computer time. There's one I like. Okay, and you'll notice here this is by this person. So if I click on that, that would be her homepage or a link to the author. And then, like I said, I put here link to author. I paste that there. This was for a different image that I looked for. This was a different one I selected. But you'd have then a link to the image. So you just drop back here and hit your back arrow. And then you'll notice here's the image. I would just take this, select all of it. That's going to be my link to the image. That would go right here. Okay. The next one I need is the license. So if I click on here, there's my license, CC by SA 2.0. And so I can actually, make a link to that, post that there. But as I'm doing this, I would actually start my name. So this is the name of the image, and I make that a hyperlink. And then image by, and then I would put the author name and make that a link back to these people using the links I have. So the link to the author. And then this right here, the 2.0, I would use basically whatever Creative Commons license that's linked to. So I just copy that and use it. So this is what you're seeing here. Okay. All right. Now websites. Websites are a little bit different. So if you're going to use a website, you want here's an article I found on Edutopia. This is perfect. I like this. I'm using some piece of it in my web page, and of course I got a citation to it wherever. But it's a resource. If you look out here underneath Creative Commons, I actually have some resources for you. One, where to find images. Okay, Creative Commons. I give you all these different places where you can find them. And by the way, these don't require attribution. The other thing you can look at is this thing down here called the Citing New Resources. Okay. And one thing I happen to have is a link to a citation machine to the OWL out here. Okay. Now, this is really, really cool. If I click on that citation machine, it tells me, asks me what I want. I want APA style. I'm going to cite a website. I'm going to paste it here. It's going to do a web search. And then once it finds it, I'm going to select it right there. Okay. I do my final step. Okay, so it generates all this information down here. Now all I have to do is create the citation. Kind of cool, huh? And then once I have that, then I can actually copy and paste that. Oh, I don't want that. Let's try this again. I don't want that. I don't want to count. Let's try this again. Okay, so I don't know what was up with the last time. I tried to create this and wouldn't do it. So, oh, it's actually view sponsored. Whatever. It's asking for interaction. Sorry about that. It looks like if you do more than one search, it might ask you to basically, watch a video, watch an ad. But eventually it comes back and gives you this. So what I did, so here's my link to that. It's in the APA format. Kind of cool, huh? So if you go back to this thing, all I did is I have this information, and then so it filled it in basically what it did, and that create citation. And then when it created the citation, that's where it actually then created this for me. So here's my supporting. I can just grab that, and now I can just post that in here. So here's my website, and here's the citation for that. Okay. So what I can then do with that is I can then post that over into my resources under web pages. So like you see, there's lots and lots of ways to cite resources. It's very, very simple to do. I give you lots of tools to do that with. I give you some videos, but make sure that you're giving. If you use websites, make sure it has with some resources in it, gives credit to them. Also, if you're doing APA citing, websites have to be APA cited. But if you're doing Creative Commons, again, make sure you're giving credit where credit is due. And if you need, if you want examples, like I said, go to the bottom of my resource page here. This is the web address, and I give you some examples. So anyway, please make sure you get this down because it's not hard to do, and it's giving credit where credit is due.